This is Leon, and this is my lesson on the membrane unit.
Then this is an enzyme. It speeds up chemical reactions, and it lowers energy level. See that if I have an enzyme, then I could run faster without wasting any more energy. If I don't have one, then it will take me more energy to run faster. Go. See that fire? Pretend the fire could consume proteins. If it could consume proteins, that means this fire could probably consume a lot of proteins. That's how it wasted so little energy and gained a lot of energy. And okay, you see, these are the reactants, and this is the enzyme. When you take them out, you get a new product. This liquid, it has sugars, and sugars are a type of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have monomers named monosaccharides. Examples of carbohydrates are like starches, glycogen, or cellulose. Starches are a source of energy for plants. See this tree? This tree probably got that high because it has starches. Glycogen are a source of energy for animals. See this guy? He's eating food. He's an animal, because we are all animals. You see this tree? This tree has cell walls. And you can't see it physically, but then in the inside, it does have cell wall, which are made of carbohydrates. The molecule are proteins. Proteins have monomers named amino acids. Another example of proteins are hemoglobins. Hemoglobins carry air and blood.
Another macromolecule are lipids. Lipids have monomers named fatty acids, unsaturated or saturated, or glycerol. The difference between saturated and unsaturated are that saturated has more hydrogen ions than unsaturated does. So the difference between unsaturated and saturated fatty acids are like these shoes. These shoes have two socks, and because they have more hydrogen ions, so it must be saturated. These shoes have only one sock. That means it has less hydrogen ions. Cholesterol is like a ring-like structure. You may hear it's bad to get high cholesterol, which it is, but you shouldn't get too much. This egg, it gives some cholesterol, but don't eat too much of this. You may get high cholesterol, which is a bad thing. Some cholesterol adjusts your body's response to stress, which is like estrogen or sex. Phospholipids make up the cell membrane. Take these two straws and think of it as a fatty acids, and take this Cocoa Puff and think of it as a glycerol. Put these two together and you have phospholipid. But a triglycerol has 3 fatty acids and it makes up the tail of a lipid structure. You have another glycerol, put it on this, you get a triglyceride. The last macromolecule are nucleic acids. They're made up of monomers named nucleotides. Example of a nucleic acid is DNA and RNA. DNA holds the information for making proteins, and proteins help with genes. We inherit these genes from our parents. As you heard from DNA, they hold the information for making proteins. RNA help build these proteins. Many of you may ask, what is cell membrane?
What is it?
Well, it's a phospholipid bilayer. We have 2 phospholipids on each side.
So?
See, this is a basic structure of one. This is the fatty acids, which are hydrophobic, and this is the glycerol, which is hydrogenic. Many of you may ask, what is cell membrane?
What is it?
Well, it's a phospholipid bilayer. We have 2 phospholipids on each side.
So?
See, this is a basic structure of one. This is the fatty acids, which are hydrophobic, and this is the glycerol, which is hydrogenic. Why the phospholipid bilayer is like this is because water's on the outside, which needs to get in the inside through the glycerol, which is hydrogenic. For molecules to move in and out of a cell, it needs to use either active or passive transport. Active transports are facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion uses help, like this. This represents the help, and this represents inside the cell. The water goes through using help. Facilitated diffusion. This is another active transport. It uses force. That's why it takes such a long time to go through. not as fast as facilitated diffusion. This is diffusion. It makes other substances besides water go through the gradient. Without any help. This is osmosis. Same thing as diffusion, but instead it uses water. Phospholipid bilayer is like this because water is on the outside of the cell. What are you doing? Phospholipid bilayer is like this because water is on the outside of the cell, and
Hey,
Wait.
pato!
phospholipid bilayer is like this because hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Another.
Wait, you see these? These are the M's. Oh my god, what are you doing?